Good morning. This video is going to be about 2016 goals for Get in the Lab. So let's get into it. Before even thinking about making this video, which I had no intention of making, but I think is a really good practice from here on out, as a sort of accountability sort of thing, is to update not only you guys and what's going to go on with the channel and what's going to go on with the brand of Get in the Lab, but to keep myself in check, because this shit was hella empty. We're in January already. We're kind of late, but I don't think we're too late. It's not like it's February. I mean, it's not like it's after taxes or something. January, we're filming season 2 of Hustle and Love. And Hustle and Love was formed back in August, I think, August or September of last year, with my friend Jeff. And we didn't do much with it, but we had a lot of fun with it. So we definitely know that there's a lot of potential there in that show. And so from here on out, we're gonna film them sort of in seasons. He lives in LA, I live in Orange County, and we meet kind of midway at our shared studio space here in Fullerton. Each season is going to focus on a theme. This theme that you guys can look forward to is going to be about finances and investing and money and stuff like that between two entrepreneurs who are in a relationship. And I think it would just be helpful for anybody who's in a relationship. What I'm also going to do in January is also start to formulate, outline, talk to people, make some connections for how to launch a successful book on Kickstarter. And this idea was brought to me by my friend Jared, who had asked me to speak again at Podcast Movement, which I had already submitted my talk for Podcast Movement. Now I just need to fund ways and kind of campaign for money to get over there to fund my trip. So that's in the works already. I already submitted my talk. It's going to be called Why I Broke Up with iTunes. So it'll be about how to leverage video on Facebook, and if you are a video podcaster, iTunes may not be the best place to be. You know, it's always changing all the time with all these platforms, but I'm just going to share my own findings, my own case study on that. So February comes along, and I'm going to be starting to write my book for Kickstarter. I'm not really sure. I'm supposed to meet with a wonderful person called Zach Bob, named Zach Bob. I actually met him briefly at Podcast Movement, and he bumped into me and he said, "Hey, you're Megan," and I said, "Yes, I am." I believe that was our meeting, and then I didn't know who he was, and so it'll be a great time for me to get to know him. Maybe I'll bring him on the show. I'll get in the lab. His background's in crowdfunding, basically. March, I'm not really sure what's gonna happen in March. I'm kind of keeping this open for creating a lot of video content and finding out what people really like from me. I'm just gonna go fucking ham. But have fun and not burn myself out like I did last year. April, we're gonna go to Seattle near the end of April. That'll be a good time to relax a little bit, just to be in a different city, to travel. We're actually gonna go for, it's actually Kevin's thing. He's either going for an engagement or a wedding or something, and he thought that I would enjoy this trip, so he's bringing me along. Beginning or late April, right kind of immediately after that, we're gonna go on a little family vacation. Me and my parents with Kevin, we're gonna go to the Grand Canyon. So that should be cool. We're gonna stay there for a good week or so in like a house, basically. So that should be really fun. May comes around. Kevin's gonna be traveling a lot this year, so it gives me a lot of time to be by myself, create a lot of content, be lazy. That's usually what happens. Probably gonna be getting more into webinars, more into my training, maybe launching some more products. June will come around, and I think, or also in May, I think I want to launch my book at that time. I want it to be kind of finished by that time, and then talk about delivering the goods in June or July, end of June or beginning of July. So June will come around, and I will want to have booked maybe 5 headshots to fund my trip to Podcast Movement. And then July is gonna come, and then Podcast Movement will be there, and it's held in Chicago this year. So hopefully I'm all funded and ready to go for that. I'll be speaking, like I said, and it might be a really good chance for me to do a little book campaigning out there as well. August, September, October, November, December, who knows? It is anyone's game at that point. I only really planned six months out, and July is still really open because. Hi, Mom.
Hi. Hello.
Yeah, sorry, that was my mama. That is what's gonna go on for the next, I guess, 6 months. Those are my goals so far. Maybe in 6 months or whenever something drastic comes up in the calendar, we'll have another vlog like this again, but definitely gonna do a lot more vlogging. I got a new camera. You can check out my thoughts to it in the link below or right here. But yeah, a lot of cool things are going down. I'm feeling more and more comfortable in front of the camera, and vlogging and YouTube and making video has been a really fun, eye-opening, liberating experience into figuring out and developing and uncovering the woman that I am, which is very, very exciting. You don't have to be one way or the other to just start exploring who you are, putting down goals for yourself, experimenting with what you want to do with your life, and just doing it. I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Those are my 2016 goals so far. I'm excited. Lots more vlogs to come on this channel. It's gonna become primarily a vlogging channel and a home for just anything that's going on in the lab. And I thank you so much for joining me and tuning in. And so I'd like to know your guys' #1 biggest goal so far. I know we're just in the first month, but so far, what do you think? What is it? Let me hear it in the comments, and we'll see you next time here in the lab. Once again, my name is Meg. Peace out.